That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That's
hey,
how
welcome
you do
everyone.
it.
Welcome to the show.
Wow.
This is Grand Slam podcast, or our third podcast. Stadium. Welcome. Meta Sunbro's here, Roy.
Meta Sunbro is in the house.
Don't act like we forgot about you. Here, you can
We
get
never
this.
would. Wow.
Beside the ending, the show felt like a pay-per-view.
Really interesting that you would think that the ending wasn't pay-per-view worthy.
Very interesting take.
I don't know if I agree with it.
Oh, Woodsy the Beast gives a bunch of scissors. Just scissors down the line. Hassan Terrell's here.
Hey, scissor me, Red. Scissor me. It's so stupid. So
Hassan says, "Hi there, guys." Hi,
Hassan.
Hassan.
Hassan, it is so good to hear from you.
It's great to hear
Always.
from you, Hassan.
Did you watch the show tonight, Hassan?
Did you watch the show, Hassan? But boy, first off, before we get into the comings and goings of AEW, how you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm okay. A lot going on. A lot happening.
Sure.
Doing okay. Yeah, whatever. I'm fine. I got this mug. I've got some tea. Drinking some tea tonight, and it's probably too full, but I bought this really dumb, it's really stupid mug that says "Home" with the New Jersey State. I knew you'd love it.
I want to get that
for
as a
$2
tattoo.
at a thrift store.
I want that as a tattoo over my chest. We have Hassan says John Moxley wins. You're
John
damn right,
Moxley
Hassan.
did win, Hassan.
And Brett says LLW. Joe writes, great. Joe's in the chat.
Joe's in the chat. Turbs is here. Joe is here. Gang's all here.
Squirrel. Joe writes, great show. Terrible ending.
Why is everybody hating on the? I understand why, but we're going to talk about it.
And Hassan says, yes, I did. Yes. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome, Hassan.
Great job.
Are we just jumping right in?
Yeah. Did anyone? No one notice my John Moxley impression? That's fine. I'm gonna.
Oh, that was it. No. Keep it up.
No, it's okay. If no one was thinking that,
because everyone talk about John Moxley and they're just like John Moxley wins.
Everybody hates John Moxley right now. I'm getting heat.
Woodsy says, "I'm so upset that Ring of Honor belt fan Jericho feels like the ECW title on Kane." Oh, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun.
I wouldn't go that far necessarily.
I'm watching Big Sky. We love the Big Sky too. I'm watching it every day.
Sure.
Just keep watching those wheels turn round and round. John Lennon said that.
Was that that was John Lennon? Yeah, I was thinking, didn't Leonard Skinner or Creedence Clearwater have a song about Spirit in the Sky?
That's Norman Greenbaum. Come on now.
That's Norman Greenbaum?
Norman Greenbaum. Yeah.
Tell you what, that's one funky Jew right there, probably. Presumably.
Greenbaum? Why do I think
probably Baum?
Why do I think Baum?
Don't look
at
Royal Tenenbaum.
We have to really think about this show. We can't be talking about Norman Greenbaum. Baum.
It is Norman Greenbaum. You were right. Noah Baumbach. Anyway, yeah, let's do it. How did you feel about this show? How did you feel about the show, Raw?
I liked it. One of the issue is because of the way, like this was like a 5-match show, less than that, 4-match show.
5 shows, 5 matches.
And the thing is, like every AEW Dynamite is 5 matches. I would love for this to feel special and have it be like 5 long matches. But this was just a regular AEW show with a lot of things happening, which was nice.
Yeah, you know what?
TV don't look different.
Can I be a real stat nerd for a second?
Sure.
Every AEW Dynamite has 6 matches on it. This had 5, allowing the 5 matches to have a little bit of a longer run time. Each one of them.
I want AEW to have 7, 8 matches.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't disagree with that at all. I'm okay with some squash matches. I'm okay with some like Al Snow versus Gangrel style Monday Night Raw matches. You know, give me 4 or 5 minutes every now and then. I will say. The wrestling on this show, other than the main event, and maybe the 4-way, wasn't great. It wasn't bad. By AEW standards, I thought it was okay. But the moments and the crowd and the energy of the show overshadowed the wrestling, which doesn't always happen. And I think that's important. That's what makes an AEW, like a big AEW show, feel big, is when the wrestling is good and you like the wrestling, but it's the moments that you walk away from. Like, that's what you remember.
It's always a great live experience. friends. That's what we have to remember.
We have some friends there tonight too.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's talk about this first match. We have to get into the show. We have to get. Yeah. We should.
Yeah.
We should have been.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor Championship time.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
So we had Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli. Is there a delay? There's like a significant delay.
For you or for me?
Well, for me and you. It's a both.
Well, I'm on fire over here. I'm getting you. I'm getting you in live time. Well, am I delayed?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Hey, it's not off if you think it's just me.
Maybe we're Jericho both on mushrooms. Who knows?
Jericho versus Claudio. I wish. Jericho versus Claudio. Well, I thought this was a great match.
Yes, I thought this was a good match. I think I got to tell you, I was a little sleepy going into this show. A long day. So I was a little sleepy, so I was like half in, half out. But what I saw, I enjoyed. I woke up after this match, but like I didn't see the finish. I dozed off. But
well, I'll give you some of the highlights.
Give me what you got.
There's a Jericho suplexes Claudio to the floor, which was fun.
I did see that. I saw that.
I don't know who Darby Sylvie, Barbie Sylvie, Darby Carmen.
I'm never gonna get it right if you keep saying that.
Wonderla Sylvie.
Carrie Silkin. Carrie Silkin. Who doesn't do? He did a terrible job here, but I think he's very limited in mobility.
Then don't do it. Ring of Honor gets knocked down by.
He could take a lesson or two from Tony. Tony did it right tonight.
Yeah, well, also, the cameraman needs to stop focusing on people trying to get back up. But we get some fun spots, a Frankensteiner off the top rope that is about to be reversed into a Ricola bomb into another Frankensteiner. Then we get the code breaker into a big uppercut, which was really cool. Then the low blow, and we get a low blow Judas effect, and Jericho wins the title. How did you feel about this?
I think it's really interesting to see him win this title because, what's that mean? What is it? He's going to wrestle in front of 1,400 people in, every few months for Ring of Honor. Mose brought up something interesting. I don't know if Mose is here tonight, but Mose brought up something interesting in the Discord about this is leading to some kind of announcement for Ring of Honors, like having a TV deal or something. And I think that's an interesting idea and that maybe that's happening, but also at the same time, maybe maybe they're doing a thing. Maybe this is really for the Daniel Garcia-Chris Jericho feud. Who knows?
But even so, whatever it is, brilliant. I think I didn't even see this coming. I think it's perfect to put Ring of Honor in this position because Jericho basically before AEW went on TV, Jericho was the champion going in, or was he the champion going?
Yeah, right? He won the title at the second ever pay-per-view. And
so it was the title going into TV, and now he's gonna be the Ring of Honor champion going into TV.
Hopefully,
that's
if
my
they
thought.
have TV,
and it's smart because actually just making him the king of Ring of Honor would be a great idea. Just to have people rub up against.
Yeah.
We got Joe writing, I love Moxley, but can Khan lay off on his man crush and give someone else the spotlight? Let the man go fishing.
Yeah, but I do agree with that. Let the
man go fishing.
The guy needs to go fishing.
Let him go fishing. Hassan writes, do you like Paige? I love
Paige. Paige, Paige, not Hangman Adam Page.
No, we don't talk about that. No, it's Paige.
Yeah, I do love Paige. I love Soraya. I'm excited.
Did he get released? Paige? I forget. Who knows?
What's your deal? What's your deal? Want to get me worked?
He's whatever. He's
Although I will say he's in that battle royal on Friday, and it's just like jobbers and him.
Oh wow! Adam Hangman Page is in a battle royal. I'll make sure to DVR it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm being a dick. I'm having a lot of fun. Term's right. Joe, I understand what you're saying, but Hassan, do we like Paige? Do you like Paige?
Yeah, big time. Really exciting. Really exciting to talk about this.
We'll talk about that
later.
Terb says, Joe, I understand what you're saying, but belt was dropped and picked up a trillion times this summer because of the injuries, suspensions. I doubt it would feel that way. Joe writes, I'm happy for Paige. Hope she enjoys the spotlight for a couple weeks till she is inevitably ends up on Dark full time. Ruby, anyone?
Look. I don't disagree with that sentiment, but we got to be a little more positive around here, okay? It was a good show tonight. It was Wayne Stock. It was Tony Khan's Wayne Stock.
You fucking Tony Khan, Mark. Lindsay DeBee says, oh, yeah, Claudio's chops didn't look great for some reason. I think, honestly, Claudio needs more reps in. He still looks a little sluggish since he's come back.
I think there's something to be said about the majority of the AEW roster and how good they can make a wrestler look. Until you get in the ring with someone like Jericho, who's a tremendous wrestler, obviously, and is having somehow having the 10th career renaissance of his career. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. You know, it's easier to have great matches and look great when there's someone who's much younger flying all over the place for you. Yeah. But it's harder to look polished and like you're on top of your game when there's a 54-year-old in the ring with you.
He did a great job moving Jericho around.
Absolutely. He fucking bench pressed him.
Brett says, circumstantially, Mox has had the rawest deal of any champ run so far. True. He should have never had it, drop it, compete it, tournament to get it back. Yeah, I do agree with that because
it seems like
COVID,
bullshit that's
his
thing.
First run COVID.
Yeah.
You know, like that's his first run.
It's tough to say that, right? Because yes, COVID, of course, but he couldn't control COVID. No one could, and he made the absolute most of that title run in 2020.
No, he always makes the most of everything. But I'm just saying, raw deals goes to Mox.
Yeah,
and Punk, I'm sure. Mose writes that.
And who?
And Punk. Oh yeah, CM Punk. He's the one that put Adam Hangman Page to bed in that press conference.
What's your deal? What's your fucking deal, bro?
I think it's a work. I think it's all a work.
I think it's becoming a work, just like this MJF thing.
No, I think it's all now I'm convinced MJF was a work. It was all been a work, and it's just his way of giving people vacations. Right before they're about to shoot something else. MJF just got a little bit. MJF was running hard for 3 years of AEW. Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
He hasn't had a break.
He hasn't had a break, but he also doesn't wrestle nearly as much as everybody else.
He just had a 3-month-long vacation with his girlfriend so then he could propose to her. Now he's back. Like, it's just like, it seems awfully convenient. Right? He's back right as Punk and the Bucks are leaving? Well, Punk is probably not the Bucks Kenny thing. Like this was all supposed to be a feud, but then Punk got injured, which is legit.
So you think backstage, Kenny went to Ace Steel and said, "Bite me in the arm."
What?
Do it. Go ahead. You think that's part? Yeah, this will be good for business, brother.
They blade each other, so I don't think it's that big of a deal.
They blade each other in front of crowds.
You're gonna. They blade each other in the back all the time.
What?
You never seen like people come out like they bleed immediately when they come out. Like they'll cut themselves and super glue it closed so that when they come out they just give it a nudge and then it just starts gushing.
Do you remember when Kevin Owens headbutted Vince McMahon? That's when I learned about that. I didn't know that they did that until then.
I'm happy. We got that. Claudio's chops. Mose is here.
Mose has arrived. Mose likes to say when something's not good, he likes to say it's pee-pee, and I think that's weird.
Yeah,
I love you, Mose.
I love the pee-pee stuff.
I love you.
Mose writes, the Kenny versus Danielson I watched multiple times. There was not a match like this year. The issue with that kind of mentality is that nothing will ever be anything ever. You know, like you can't constantly compare. This is a good thing. This is a good wrestling thing. Hassan writes, Chris Jericho won the Ring of Honor Championship. You're damn right, Hassan.
You're damn right, Hassan.
And then writes, Reba is on Big Sky too. I believe it.
Reba like Reba? Reba as in Rebel?
I'm thinking Reba McIntyre.
I just was watching after when I was setting up for this. You know, young Sheldon was on, and there was Reba McIntyre. I couldn't believe
Craig T. Nelson. Mose writes, "Yeah, Roy, inject that positivity."
Oh yeah.
Nassan says, "Do you like the fall tomorrow morning?" Hey, do you like the fall tomorrow?
I wish it was the fall tomorrow morning.
I'm not sure what you mean.
It's still going to be hot as hell over here, Hassan.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's a good point, Roy. Very good point. Brett writes, Dynamite was awesome. My threshold of Hangman Adam Page toleration is 0, and that's exactly what we got. That's a good point, Brett. That's a good point, Terps.
Good point.
Why are you agreeing with that? You hate that sentiment.
Wait, what was the sentiment? I wasn't listening. What was it?
When Steve says Dynamite was awesome, that's where you check.
Yeah, I agreed with that.
And then my threshold of Hangman Adam Page toleration is 0, and that's exactly what we got. And then,
who said that? Woodsy or Terps? Terpy loves.
That's so funny. That was really funny. Joe writes, I believe that Paige's contract expired and wasn't renewed, probably because they were too afraid to let her wrestle. We're talking about Soraya, Roy.
Yeah.
Calm
Yeah.
down. I saw it in your eyes. Woodsy says everything's a work. Do you really think Jey Uso would really hate his Uso since day one, Sami Zayn? And Joe writes,
loving that. I'm loving everything Sami Zayn is doing right now on social media. Everything about that. I don't know. I haven't watched any of the television. I just follow what Sami Zayn does.
By Logan Paul? It was pretty cool, right?
I didn't see that either. I have no idea. I just like what he likes on what he does on Twitter, saying good shit oos to everything that really all of them do. It's so good.
Sami Zayn is a treasure. And Joe writes here, life is a work, everything but con snort addiction. Gotta stay awake. Come on now, Joe.
Joe.
We got to stay awake. All right, we got to
keep rolling here.
We got to keep rolling. By the way, the Jericho Appreciation celebrates afterwards Jericho's win, and Dana Garcia comes out to clap, but he doesn't seem too happy, Roy.
He doesn't. A weak high five.
A weak high five. Not something you give someone who just won the Ring of Honor Championship.
That's right. I'd give him a real stern high five.
Yeah, and so we get the first promo for the main event right now, Roy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
We get Moxley and Bryan talking, basically just saying how Bryan has lost to 4 people, and he's avenged 3 of those. And Moxley's the 4th one. That's a good little story going into this.
Yeah. It is. And I really, that kind of, you just thought he would take it. So it's strange that he didn't. But
yeah. And this, I don't know about you, but this really felt like a reset episode. This feels like a reset to Dynamite. Specifically with this next one, Swerve Glory versus the Acclaim. Wow. What a reset. What a reset for this. Yeah. Because it's something they should have done a few months ago. And they didn't do. Maybe not a few months ago, but they should definitely have done 2 weeks ago. Or whatever that was.
Yeah, the AEW does this, and it's a problem that I have with the booking, is that same with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa fought at the February pay-per-view. They fought at Revolution, and everyone was like, obviously, this is Thunder Rosa's time. Thunder Rosa's obviously going to win this. And then Britt Baker wins, and everyone's like, well, what the fuck? And then what's happening is that Tony Khan's waiting until they get to the hometown of the challengers, and then he puts the titles on them in the hometown. But it's like a 2 or a 3 week difference. Like, you waited 3 weeks, they went to San Antonio, Thunder Rosa won. They waited 3 weeks, they went to New York, and now the Acclaimed won. And the thing is, that match at All Out between Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory was excellent. It was excellent. It was great. I didn't think this match was anywhere near as good as that match. It was fine. But it was a little more clunky. It just didn't. It was all about the moment. Again, the moment was fantastic and it was worth it and all of that. But imagine them winning it All Out after having this excellent match. Instead, they won after a good match, and Billy Gunn got involved, which I don't love, but they still had a good moment.
There was an issue in this match. So it was I thought it was. I have a little issue with Keith Lee. Keith Lee is starting to bother me a little bit with some of because if you're going to be this is basically a face versus a reluctant face, otherwise a heel, a reluctant heel group, right? They're kind of on the edge, but they wrestled for the most part like it was a heel match. And Keith Lee doing fucking hair karanas to get a pop is not helping the Acclaimed. That does not help the Acclaimed. And I'm all for making sure you shine and your match shines. But if you're the heel team, your job is to make the baby face look better than you. And by doing that kind of stuff doesn't make anyone look better besides yourself. And what happens when you do that is that you dilute the cheers for my Acclaimed.
I agree with you, and I disagree with you, both. I agree with you at a high level, but I only disagree with you because I think my interpretation of what was happening in this match is that it was actually Keith Lee versus the Acclaimed, babyface. Shane Strickland was the heel. Shane Strickland was acting like a heel the entire time. He was the one who took out the boombox. He was the one who got in Billy Gunn's face, and it was Keith Lee who was actively trying to stop him from doing all of those things, leading to that Swerve heel turn and a feud with Keith Lee. So I think Keith Lee was like, hey, let's have a wrestling match. Y'all are great. We're great. We beat you last time. See if you can best us. And Swerve was like, "Oh, fuck that shit. I'm gonna fucking be a heel," and he was a heel.
Even more
he
so.
Was a heel.
Then even more so, why they should have won last one, where it was a match focusing on the match rather than it being like kind of like a second story being told in the middle. Some weird spots happening here, Roy. We got some fun things there. We got Scissor Me Daddy chants. Keith Lee throws a Hurricanrana. We get Taz saying that Tony hears Scissor Me Daddy ass all the time. Did you hear that?
And it was so funny. He had to say it a second time, and as he was saying it, Taz was just like, he realized he can't. It's silly. It's really silly.
Yelled at. Swerve hits Keith Lee with a suplex. That was pretty good. Not Swerve. I mean, Max Caster hit him with a suplex.
Yep.
But Swerve hits Lee in the head with a boombox. Rick Knox is the worst referee in the world. Your basically only job now, because you barely do anything else, is just pretend that you're not looking when someone gets hit with something. You know, like he's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's like that's the worst quality a ref can have. The worst.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's the indiest of indie referees, and I hate to say that.
You're making your announcers look like idiots.
Stupid. Yeah. I don't disagree.
And sorry, I think there's a lot of delay on my end, so sorry if I keep interrupting you. Sorry about that. I think I might.
You're good.
But yeah, we get the daddy ass, daddy asser, the famed daddy asser.
The famed the daddy ass. Yeah, the daddy asser is good. Really good.
Daddy asser. And we get the win there. Fun for the Acclaimed. Whatever. I'm glad for Swerve and Lee to stop this and kind of face each other a little bit.
They should face each other. They should have a blood feud of some kind. Yeah, I agree. And then let the Acclaimed be a tag team. Let them be the tag team champions.
Yeah. And you know what we should do next? We should have the FTR face the Gun Club, Roy. Because that's the next. I don't mind this. So right after that match, we have Lexi with FTR, and they wish congratulations. But like, we've been number 1 contenders for 10 years.
Since April.
And Gun Club is just like, does FTR stand for forgot the TV? What is it? Or,
I don't remember.
FTR,
I was distracted
we
by
on TV? FT.
Austin Gunn's. He had like a black jacket on. And I was distracted by his trench coat.
But this is a fine thing to do for FTR before they face the Acclaimed, right?
Yeah, but it's They
have to.
Yeah, they have to.
What are you gonna
they
do?
have to. Yeah, you got no choice. You really have no choice. And it's somehow all your tag teams are gone. I don't know what happened to all of your tag teams. They're either hurt, or you haven't booked them at all, or you haven't decided to like take them seriously. Or
it's because they're too worried about the trios division, which dilutes the tag team division completely. It's a stupid idea, the trios titles.
It's not at all, but that's okay. Their trios are gone too.
The trios titles, if they're gonna do trios titles, replace the tag team titles.
No,
it's kind of stupid to have to both. It just doesn't feel like it makes sense to have both. It's just diluting.
You're a silly Billy.
You're the silliest Billy. What do we have here? Joe writes, Jericho having the Ring of Honor titles perfect. Really push his sports entertainer gimmick in the land of pure wrestling. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Turbs writes, why is everyone so convinced it's Coke? It could just as easily be Adderall. Daddy owns an NFL team in Jacksonville, not Miami. That's pretty funny, Turbs.
That is pretty funny, Turbs. Yeah.
Mose, shuffle the cards. The immediate FTR cut was critical. Yeah, I think that they needed to cut quickly to them to kind of explain why they're not there. I think that was smart, right, Ray?
Sure, yeah.
Mose says, you can't make lightning strike the same way twice. I agree, Roy. I think we're on the same page.
With
pulling the trigger the first time.
Right, yeah.
As Tony Khan has never been able to do. Woodsy to Be says they probably won't give a belt to Soraya since last time she had one. Her and Xavier Woods.
Whoa!
Not cool, Woodsy.
Knew where that was going.
I should have scanned that, but not cool, Woodsy. Let's not.
Come on.
Let's not slut shame anyone, right?
I'm currently reading The Ethical Slut, so I'm learning a thing or two.
Yeah.
Everybody should read it.
Yeah, but we should also stop saying it. We don't want to encourage these people to start saying it in the chat. Please don't
also
say it in the
true.
chat. Otherwise, we won't like
also
it.
True. Unless you're referring to that book, then that's okay.
Be careful.
Well, never mind. No, don't say it. Don't say it.
Joe writes, for Christ's sakes. Let's just be good. Joe writes, true, Brett. Very true. I'm not as in the know about candy medicine as Tony Khan is. To be a billionaire, I guess.
I think Tony Khan is high on life, guys.
He's high on Monster energy drinks.
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
He's high on his own blend of Rockstar and Mountain Dew Code Red. Tony
and he also likes that water, that fancy mineral water.
Watch your ears, Roy, because we're about to get
Hot Bean!
Is that loud?
Oh, is Tam in the chat?
No. Oh, that's the wrong one. Tony's in the chat. Boom! Scissor me, daddy, boom!
Scissor me, daddy, boom.
Redley697 says, video idea. List of all wrestlers, living and dead, that had a hernia. What a terrible condition that needs more awareness. What a terrible condition that needs more awareness. See, Redley697, that joke just doesn't work.
What's the joke?
Because a hernia is a tear in your abdominal line.
Oh.
It's a terrible condition that needs more. It just doesn't work, Jason. I even put the emphasis on terrible.
Is this Redley? Has Redley been workshopping this one for a while?
Redley697 really loves hernia and hemorrhoid jokes, and I have to rein them back.
Yes, sure.
Gotta. We can't go down that route. It's a slippery slope. Gross out humor. You become Rob Schneider real quick.
It's true.
We have to keep moving on, Roy. We have to keep moving on because you know who we have next. Yeah. This is a very interesting segment. Tony Schiavone with Wheeler Yuta. Or as I like to call him, Wheels.
Oh, this is a good segment.
Yeah. We have ask about the main event, and then immediately MJF interrupts. And I immediately think, why are they doing this to Yuta? Why would they do this to Yuta? This is not fair to Yuta. You should pick someone that nobody likes and everyone wants to shit on. Don't do this to Yuta, who you want to be over or taken seriously. Because MJF interrupts, and he's showered with cheers because they're in New York, and he calls he's like, the devil's here, and because you all worship me, you're my little devil worshipers. Awesome.
Fantastic
awesome stuff. We get that, then he calls Schiavone a fat old prick. Then he says that he calls him Wheelsy, and he's like, these people will drink my spit. They'll let me sleep with their wives, but I wouldn't do it because I have class and standards, whatever. It's very fun. But he was hoping that the crowd would start turning on him, because then Yuta interrupts and starts saying, yeah, you're the king of low-hanging fruit. But the crowd just was like pooping on his chest.
Yeah.
They do not want Wheeler Yuta. Like, they just don't. And then MJF comes back with more fire, calling the Blackpool Cuckold Club.
That was okay. That wasn't great.
It was still... They got a pop.
It was okay.
He wishes them luck, and then he makes fun of Brian Kendrick, Brian Danielson, Moxley, and Boy Regal. Yuta attacks him, and then MJF gives a great headbutt.
Yeah.
And then knocks down Tony Schiavone.
Then he starts getting booed.
That's what they should have done first, so that then Yuta could have really shown. Then Yuta attacks. But by the way, let's talk about Tony Schiavone attack. Because the first time he was attacked was by the Young Bucks. And
when they super kicked him.
Nothing. He showed up the next day, no neck brace, no nothing. Stupid. Never been touched, Tony Schiavone. And that was the first time he was touched.
You want him to have a neck brace now?
Yes! Yes, he better. Well, not now, maybe. But he gets knocked out. At least he did for a good reason. Then we get ding dong, Morrison comes out. No, that's
He's a big dog. I'm loving what he's doing with his hair though.
He's
straightening and he's straightening it out. It's a lot of body. It's styled nicely.
Looks like
I
Triple
think it's
H's in 2002.
A little bit, yeah.
Very, very peak steroid use Triple H hair.
Yeah.
Peak.
What do they call it? What they call it?
Evolution is a mystery.
No, the path of destruction or the
cream of the crop.
Hell. When he was on top from the end of 2002 through WrestleMania 20. The Reign of Terror.
His reign of
terror. No, the Reign of Terror. That's
the golden age of wrestling.
The Reign of Terror, when they did that really racist storyline with Booker T. And
don't remember. We have to keep moving on. Right? I don't know if that happened.
Where's Brooklyn Blake?
Wait, we have to.
He has my back.
Mose writes, after we talk about the hernia and hemorrhoids, Mose writes, moving on. Redley 697 says hemorrhoids can be a real bummer.
Oh,
that's better. Like I said,
that is a little bit better.
Terrible. Terrible is just not. Yeah. It doesn't work. Mo says Tony getting pushed took the breath out of me. Yeah, it really did. It was nuts.
Interesting.
What? You don't think
that's good? That's good. That's a good reaction. That's what I'm looking for.
I was nervous because he's got neck.
So was I. Yeah, he does have a lot of. He has neck issues, and I think he in WCW, which was 20 years ago, he never wanted to be touched, and now it's 20 years later, and he's being touched, and he got slapped too.
Got slapped in the back. Well, that really pissed him off because he was just gonna be like, Mo's right. Woodsy says video idea: 10 best wrestlers in commercials. 10 best wrestlers.
That's a good one. That's who said that, Woodsy?
Woodsy.
You know who number one is though.
Oh, Mankind in the Chef Boyardee commercial. Booker T, Hungry Man.
I was gonna say Macho Man Slim Jims, but yeah, sure.
Nah.
I also love Taz in the Stacker 2 commercials with Paulie Walnuts from The Sopranos.
Yeah. Or Hangman Adam Page in the Kleenex commercials. They're in talks about that. Sorry, I did spoiler. Joe writes, I'm just sorry. I'll stop. I really, really will stop. I don't know why
you were on my side until today.
Someone got me jazzed up. It's honestly me thinking that it's all work is making me do this because I think it's all work.
Sure.
It's not because I think it's real, because I don't think Hangman Page is a bad guy, and I like those runs.
He's a good guy.
I think so.
He's a good guy.
Kenny Omega, not so much.
I think
Young
Kenny
Bucks,
Omega's
not so much.
A good guy.
We'll find out. Joe writes, MJF, or as I like to call him, God among men. Very, very good, Joe. Brooklyn Bleak says, and no, that doesn't mean he's doing his job. Brooklyn Bleak said that. About who?
About who's doing his
I don't
job?
know. Brooklyn Bleak. Oh, Brooklyn Bleak is here. Did I say hi?
No, we're saying hi now. Hey.
Brooklyn Bleak, I'm so sorry. I didn't say hi. Brooklyn Bleak writes, they threw coins at me and called me names. Later against Wardlow, hey, Piggy, I own you, Piggy. I saved you from poverty. I own you. He can't keep his character straight. Whatever.
Interesting. It's about MJF.
Yeah, we'll figure out. But... Joe writes, Ric Flair in a financial services commercial. Comedy gold. That's true. That is fun.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mose writes, the Red Yarn Society. What does that mean?
The Red Yarn Society.
Like my name, Red. But we got Brett saying, Adam Page might be a good guy, but it doesn't make him an interesting character. He is an interesting character, Turbs, when he was interesting all the way up until he had a baby. And then he fucked it up by having that baby. He should have just stuck around. Brooklyn Bleak says, skip the first part. And no, that doesn't mean he's doing a good job. Way they threw coins at me and called me names. Later
I think we
Wardlow.
skipped. Did you skip the first part?
Oh.
Another comment up top?
No, I skipped that first part. But then says, the way they threw coins at me and called me names. Later against Wardlow. Hey, Piggy, I owed you, Piggy. I saved you from poverty. I own you. He can't keep his character straight. Whatever.
Well, the coins, I understand what you're saying to a certain extent, Brooklyn Bleak. Maybe I don't. I'm not sure. But I think,
is Brooklyn Bleak in the Discord?
No.
Let's take this to Discord, Brooklyn Bleak. Because this is discordable.
This is discordable. Yeah,
I don't.
Join the internship. Yeah. I can talk about that forever. It's complicated because it's also like him trying to, psych out Punk, even though I think that's a true story. I think all of that's true. I've experienced similar things myself. But I think, I don't know. Where are we? What's happening right now?
I have no idea. That's what they were referencing, the MJF promo about the anti-Semitism?
Yes.
I did not realize that. But I'm still confused, Brooklyn Bleak. Brooklyn Bleak says, no, I said I can't stand MJF. I can't stand him.
He doesn't like Brooklyn Bleak does not like MJF because MJF can't keep his character straight.
No, he's a dick. That's his character, and it's always been true. Everything he says is for his advantage. He's like he's a bad guy, but he's also like with what?
I want to I don't know, keep rolling. It's a shame that Punk feuded with MJF because it was so good that I completely dropped all of my grudges for CM Punk as a wrestling fan and fell in love with him again. He lured me in. I dropped my defenses, and now my defenses are back up forever.
No. What that taught us, the MJF versus Punk feud, is that we can love again, Roy. We don't have to get burned every time. We could just believe. We could just trust. You may feel that way now, but Punk will be back, and he'll face MJF.
I'm gonna fall in love.
And Punk will be back, and he's going to have a match against Kenny Omega. He's going to have a match against the Bucks, and we're going to find out Ace Steel was in on it the entire time. And this is all a lie, Roy. This is all a lie. You hate Punk for no reason right now, and I hate.
I hate Punk for a very real reason that has nothing to do with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Everything he's ever done is a work. Colt Cabana's lawsuit.
That's complete fiction.
We have Redley677 says, I would mark out over a heel booking of a jobber. They do that all the time.
Hey, you ever heard of Zach Clayton?
Have you ever heard of
New Jersey?
No, Zach Clayton. No, I don't know about Zach Clayton.
You saw he wrestled the guy from Jersey, the Jersey guy.
Jersey King. King Jersey.
Yeah.
Then Bradley says,
Tony
clean up your bed, Roy.
Whoa, I'm packing right now. Things are hectic and crazy.
Joe writes,
Who said that? Redley697 said that? Redley, clean up your fucking
Redley,
jokes.
Roy was on your side.
I was.
He's very kind to you. Joe writes, are there commercials out there for Hogan's Pasta Restaurant? And can we all travel back for a bite? You'll be pooping your pants after that meal, brother. So silly. Okay, we have to move on.
I don't even know what part of the show we're at anymore.
We're losing people.
MJF?
Brooklyn Bleak says, Hook embarrassed Zach Clayton in seconds. But not really, because Zach Clayton is untouchable.
He's actually an embarrassment to the state of New Jersey.
Is he?
Because he's not actually from New Jersey.
That piece of garbage. Fuck him. But Diamante has a real secret, Roy.
Yeah, this is interesting.
The baddest person that she could find. You know who she got? Trina? Who's Trina?
I saw a tweet that said Trina was the first woman in hip-hop to be famous for her booty. That was the tweet.
Is she the rapper, Trina?
Yes.
That's a blesser.
It's a New York exclusive.
Okay, but she's not having a match or anything, is she?
No, she's just in the corner.
Okay, that's cool.
She'll probably hit a clothesline on the outside.
That's fine. That's completely fine. Yeah. I just didn't necessarily recognize the reference, but maybe people in New York will love it. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, well, whatever that then. We got Orange Cassidy versus Pac, Roy. Kind of a fart noise, I agree. It was a little bit of a fart noise. I mean, it was different than their first match, right? It was different, but I also just didn't really care.
Now's the you know who said it? Mose, Turby. One of you said that. Someone said that they're gonna do Orange Cassidy dirty, which they did. They do it every time, and every single time though they bait me in, and I'm like, maybe this is it. Maybe this is his time to win. Maybe he's gonna finally do it. And he never fucking wins, and it's just starting to really bum me out. This guy has somehow continued to improve, Since he got back from injury, we've been talking about it every week. He's more intense. He's more crisp. His character has evolved in all of these very slight but really important ways. And you just not giving him the win. He's just not giving him the win.
Roy, I think this is a blessing in disguise. The reason being is what happens when any person in AEW wins a championship. They become stupid and bad, and we hate them.
That's not untrue.
So the thing is, if Orange
Except
Cassidy
John
had
Moxley.
it, Orange Cassidy would then start acting like Ricky Starks, and we would no longer like him. And
I still like Ricky Starks.
Yeah, Ricky Starks I'm off.
I'm excited for this Lights Out match. We'll see how it goes.
I'm hoping it goes well. But the thing is, like, ever since he turned face, ever since Hobbs clobbered him in the back of the neck, he has not been the same.
Yeah.
At all. As a person,
knocked something loose.
As a wrestler, he's just like, he has no confidence anymore. We get Woodsy saying, no, but there's a commercial where Hogan has no pants while riding a wrecking ball in order to kick a guy eating a crayon. What?
If you can find that, let me know, because I want to see it.
Brooklyn Bleak doesn't like Trina. Says, Trina, what a waste. 90s, early 2000s flash in the pan. Not even from New York City. So what's the point? So much hate.
Shaking my head.
Mose writes, Orange breaks my heart and warms it every day. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Joe writes, Woodsy, that sounds oddly like Hogan's naughty tape with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife a couple years back.
Here we go.
You guys are getting dirty. You guys are getting dirty.
Wild out here.
Watch out.
Ooh.
I'm gonna play every time I get someone being naughty. They're being dirty. They're being a dirty little shit. Come on, play shit, you little piggy. That's all I'll say. All right, now we got to keep going on. That's it. If you want to roll in the muck, we have Brooklyn Bleak says Ricky Stark's a classic case of better heel than face, 100%.
We don't know that yet. Everybody take it easy.
It's been proven. Woodsy the B says, I'll put it in the hotline if it's toll free. Toll free hotline. 201-574-722.
It's toll free. Text it.
Toll free, baby. Text it, call it, leave a voicemail, send tasteful pictures.
I'm so self-conscious about the stuff on my bed now, thanks to Redley697. What's your apartment look like, Redley697?
Redley697 says, is Joe my brother? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Joe says, I have no family like Batista, rich man's Batista. I walk alone. You're saying you're the rich man's Batista?
Batista pretty rich already.
That's Joe stepping out of the Lego. We have to go up to the next match, Roy. Britt Baker versus Deeb versus Athena versus Toni Storm. And what was a pretty short match. And the thing is, like, I'm fine with it being a short match, but it felt rushed. It felt rushed.
It did feel rushed.
Title match.
Yep. I am worried. I'm worried, Red. I'm worried because Athena is fucking good.
Yeah.
She's an interesting character. She's a great wrestler. She moves really well. She's really strong. She can connect with an audience. But not only am I worried that there isn't really a place for her in AEW right now, but I'm worried that there isn't a place for her in WWE either if she were to leave. And it bums me out. It bums me out because I think she's great. She should have beat Jade. She should have won that title. Jade should have gone away for a little while, but instead Jade's going to have another squash match on Friday. But I say that thinking long term. In the short term, it looks like coming out of this match, there is a place for Athena if you want to get into what happens after the match.
Before we get to that, just Athena, like the match was a little sluggish and Athena made it pop. Every time she did something, it popped.
She did
amazing
break
strength.
Britt Baker's nose. But
she fell right on her.
Cost of doing business sometimes, I suppose.
Smashed her nose into a million pieces. But we get Toni Storm getting the roll up on Britt Baker for the win. Brett with a bloody nose starts beating down Toni. When Jamie Hayter comes out, they're like, will she, won't she, what's the deal? Beats up Toni Storm and Athena. They're beating them down. When all of a sudden, some music awkwardly pipes into the stadium.
Is it awkward? Was it awkward?
If you watch it again, it's like it played like 3 seconds into the song, so it's already mid guitar riff. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And we find that Sarita, is it Sarita?
Saraya
comes out, which is Paige from WWE fame. And she walks to the ring. Huge reaction.
Yeah.
Huge. She says this is her house and raises Athena and Toni Storm's hands in the air as we go to commercial break. I love this. And I think this is the smartest thing that they could do for the women's division is give them a bona fide star that they don't have to have wrestle every week.
No. They can also now, so they set it up nicely, and I hope they actually follow through that now you can do 6-person tags with Ember. I was about to say Ember Moon. Athena, Toni Storm, Saraya versus Baker, Deeb, Hayter. And gimmick matches, man. Give me some gimmick matches. Give this to me. I'm ready for it. But it's with 6 really talented people who I'm in the doghouse now?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
What do you mean?
What are you going to do? I mean, she obviously is here to be part of this feud. So what are you going to do?
Let her come in and let her start mentoring these people and let her start mentoring Athena and have Athena get the championship and win. And then she'd be like, guess what? I have an itch again. I want that championship. And I trained you. I think I deserve it. And so have that be the story. Paige is someone that should not wrestle. I don't think she should wrestle as much as Sting. I think she should wrestle as much as Brock. I think she should wrestle maybe twice a season, if that.
Interesting.
She's got neck injuries. She's a good talker. Let her talk her way.
They all have neck injuries.
Yeah.
Everybody does, though. Yeah. Danielson shouldn't wrestle that much.
Well,
Sting
Danielson
shouldn't be
worried
wrestling
about
that much.
I think Danielson
Sting's 60 and has spinal stenosis.
But you hear what I'm saying, right? The Danielson is
to a certain extent.
Paige is coming in. I think she's going to be coming in for limited dates for wrestling. I think she'll be a part of the show, but limited dates. And I think I think the best use of her would be once to twice a season.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. You piece of shit. Brooklyn Blake says, you think Athena should have taken on the title of Jade?
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think that, but also I don't want to be that mean to Athena.
I think they need to reestablish that title, and it should be with Athena. You can't establish that title with Jade. You can't do it right now.
I'm worried about putting the title on anyone in AEW that isn't already a bona fide, I know what I'm doing star. Athena is still young, and she hasn't figured out everything
yet. Bullshit.
Athena is not CM Punk.
Athena's a crafty veteran compared to the rest of the women's
Athena is not Paige. Athena is not Paige.
That's fine.
That title
Athena's
to
not Paige.
You give any title to Paige, and she will do something with it that's going to be that she doesn't need help.
Saraya wasn't an option until right now, and I don't think Athena would need help either. You got to let Athena be Athena. Athena had excellent matches in NXT for years.
You let Athena be Athena, and she brings those fucking wings to the ring. That's what happens when you let Athena.
Everybody's got a weird.
That's what happens when you let Athena bring Athena be Athena. When Wardlow be Wardlow, you get this nonsense, stupid stuff. Don't be you.
Oh,
you are making. You should be on BattleBots, Athena. Let's talk about what you're gonna do. Let's figure this out.
She would not succeed on BattleBots. Those wings don't work very well.
They do not, right? You got trash. Bullshit, ratchet ass wigs. Joe writes, sadly, there isn't much of a place in Khan's AW for women, period. Mose then writes,
not yet. Gotta change at some point.
Saraya, this is it.
Saraya is,
Mose says, they're stretching this hater turn. I'm almost ready to start liking her. Athena is really solid.
Yeah,
Hater.
Athena is really solid.
But you need some heels. You can't just have it be sad Jade and bitter Brit. Woodsy DeVee says, just put the Hogan commercial in the hotline. Yeah, I'll make a Hogan commercial for the hotline.
No. Woodsy just texted the Hogan commercial to the hotline.
Good job. Good person there, Woodsy. Joe writes, Bloody Brit is always a good time. It was really good. She loves being bloody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if she loves having a broken nose.
She fucking loves it. The way she plays
put it on
with
Tony's face. She put it on her chest or her stomach.
She loves it. Mose writes, is Saraya any good? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Saraya's great. Saraya's great.
But
well, I mean, Saraya hasn't wrestled in
6-7 years.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
She
at
needs
least 5, if not 6.
Hopefully she's worked out because she's really smart. She's
really
a smart worker.
She comes from a wrestling family.
Honestly, if I were to compare her to any wrestler, I would compare her to CM Punk. I think they're very similar.
I don't disagree with that. I think both of them get the most, or historically have gotten the most out of their abilities.
And they really work to try to have different matches. Brooklyn Bleak says, never turn Rampage into a woman's show. No, that we can't do that to the women's wrestling. They've already suffered enough. Let's not put them on a real B show and have them stay there. Like, we don't care about, we don't care. Like, that's literally Tony Khan saying, oh, let's put all the things I don't care about in the show I don't care about.
Yeah, you gotta turn up the heat on Rampage first. Rebuild the value in Rampage. Not just like give it to the women and rely on them to build it up, because that's unfair. That is unfair. But I don't disagree with that sentiment. Like, I do. I think the women should just have their own show, maybe. But like, I don't know. I think that's also complicated as well. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know.
Bringing good people and give them good, interesting things to do. It's that simple. Right. It's just like you've been doing with all of your, like, rather than just shoving them all together in the same match or putting them in situations that are uncomfortable, put them in better situations. Right. If someone can't talk, give them a manager, like you do to your male wrestlers. Right. Like, that's what you do. You train them and you teach them. Right. And like, they don't treat the women in AEW that way. It just don't.
Yeah.
Brett says it's cool to have a monster of a wrestler with an undefeated streak, but every time the problem comes up of finding a believable person to beat them, Athena was not that believable person. She could have.
Did you say the problem? Do you mean Marina Shafir? Is that what you're talking about, Brett? You're talking about the problem, Marina Shafir? I don't know.
No one's talking about
I think
Marina Shafir's parents have not talked about Marina.
If Athena isn't the person, then there is no one. Sorry, Chris Stat, but Chris Stat's hurt for the next year. So,
what Tony Khan probably promised Chris Stat that she would be the one to do it, and because he's such an idiot, he's like, "Can't do it. Sorry, everything's frozen until you get back. Thanks, bye."
Yeah. Tony Khan sounds a little bit like this comedian I saw recently, Kyle the Giraffe. I don't know if you've ever.
I was doing Jerry Lewis.
Oh, okay.
Hi, lady. This is me, Tony Khan. It's so nice to meet you and such. Mose writes, Britt is going to be super jealous of Saraya. Mark it. Good. Let it happen. Let's stir. Brooklyn Bleak says, put Saraya with Marina Shafir. Don't you dare.
Yeah, put Saraya with Marina Shafir and Isla Rose. There you go.
Don't even say that.
Start a women's trio division. We'll start a women's trio division, and every tag team will just add Saraya.
Are we done? Don't joke about this. Do not joke about this. Oh, did you see that Marina? No, then Brooklyn Bleak continues. Did you see that Marina Shafir promo on Elevation Dark? Pretty good. Actual emotion. Whatever.
Yeah, she's figuring it out. She had a fun hat on. She was in her hometown.
Redley697 says, more people in the chats than likes. Fix that, people. Great point, Redley697.
Redley, we're on neutral ground again.
That is a really good point. Good point. Everyone give a like in there, because that's kind of insulting now that Redley says it. Thank you, Redley. Joe writes, never finished her movie. Fighting with her family with The Rock and new Black Widow. Any good? I haven't seen it, but I'd like to.
I saw that in theaters. I had to kill time before a flight out of Austin a few years ago, and I watched it. It was fine. I mean, it was very
campy.
Yeah, clearly WWE and The Rock influence. I don't know if it's like the whole story necessarily, but
Mose writes, Shafir needs a non-renew contract. Make her sign it. Brooklyn Bleak says Impact used to have all women pay-per-views. They tried at least. Yeah, the issue is that your
Brooklyn Bleak loves Impact.
Yeah, Brooklyn Bleak loves Impact. Brooklyn Bleak says, I don't care. I'm the only person in Marina Shafir Club. I like her strikes and submission finisher.
I think
see Brooklyn
she's
Bleak.
just green.
She needs work.
She just needs work.
And she needs to work with people that aren't going to treat like sandbagger like Thunder Rosa. We got to keep moving, Roy.
Yeah, we got to get to the time.
Because we do have to talk about probably the most important part of the show. Darby Allin in a subway in a taxi. Darby Allin go around with a body bag, carrying around, dragging around. After he drags,
can I tell you something?
Picks it up, and I'm like, that's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. That was on the subway floor.
For those of you who are unaware, which is all of you, Red Jefferson refuses to touch anything on the subway with his hands.
It's disgusting.
Your hands do not touch anything.
They do.
It's very endearing. It's very strange.
Things have changed.
That's good. That's good.
Gotta watch those knees.
When this was happening, when this video was happening, my first thought was like, oh, I love this. And I know for a fact that Uncle Mo and Red hate this. And I love it. I love his stupid little videos. I think they're so funny.
I
would do the same thing if I was 15 and had a lot of money. Because he has the brain of a 15-year-old at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, I know no taxi would stop for him either. He looks like an asshole.
They're desperate for business. Uber's putting them out of business. They're desperate for anybody.
Joe writes, WWE had a women's pay-per-view a couple years back. I recall it being good.
It's
good, but the issue with it is you're not allowing everyone. If you have a show where you just like segregate your audience as well, you know, like let's be inclusive. Let's have them all a part of all the things all the time.
Yeah, and for the record, that WWE All Women show was in response to all of the outrage and protest around WWE doing a show in Saudi Arabia and women not being allowed to go.
Yeah, it was a receipt. It was a little more of a receipt than anything else.
Exactly. And that's why they've never done another one as well, even though it was successful and it was a really good show.
Brooklyn Bleak says, lol, Zelina played AJ Lee at the end of the movie Fighting With My Family. That's true.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. Yes.
Joe writes, Darby's video was so cringe. Yep, that's a good way to put it. I need a cringe sound.
Stupid.
Redley697 says, I knew that. Never sit on the seats, too. It's true. Don't sit on the seats. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
Brett says, a little grim to be potentially ending the House of Black with a funeral after their figure headlock. Wait, hold on. A little grim to be potentially ending the House of Black with a funeral after their figurehead took a leave of absence because of mental health problems. I don't think. Don't think Malachi Black gives a shit. To be honest, Herbs, I think Malachi Black is a pretty brooding, morose, macabre guy, and he probably doesn't care about that. And honestly, I'm halfway suspicious that he just really wants to go back to WWE, and he's just waiting for Tony Khan to be like, you know what? I'll let you go. And then, like, literally 2 weeks later goes to Triple H. But I do wish him the best mental health he deserves.
Yeah. Regardless, I hope he's doing okay and that he's getting the help he needs. But I also think, come on, let's all relax. Let's all relax with this. It's Darby Allin. Everything's about funeral and body bags and coffins. This is his thing.
Yeah.
This is his thing.
Joe writes, this is the case in WWE now. Women get the spotlight. It's great. All hail Triple H.
Oh,
okay, we could we don't have to get
women main evented WrestleMania a few years ago under Vince McMahon.
And we have to be careful saying his name because like something happened. Oh, Joe says the King of Kings, cerebral assassin of our I said King of Kings, and we all know the King of Kings, one true ruler, savior of the earth, savior of the ring, brings back together like the tag team division, makes women's wrestling matter. I get it. Yes, I get it. Okay, we got to stop. Right, Roy? It's annoying.
Are we done?
I have no control over the heavens, Roy. Brooklyn Bleak says, you think Malachi Black is definitely one of the people Triple H got to? I just think that he sees the writing on the wall. Malachi Black will do better there. You know who would do? Want to know who? Like if I were to do a talent switch. If I were to do a talent switch, Roy, you know who I'd switch?
Who?
You know I'd switch? I'd take who's over there that could really shine over here. I'd take someone like I take Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn over to AEW, and I'd give them Jade. I'd give WWE Jade, and Jade would have the main event of WrestleMania with Charlotte. that personality, Jade's personality, that athleticism, they will push to the top. And she would have a main event with Charlotte, and they would give her good training. Good, consistent training. Not saying Bryan Danielson isn't a good trainer, but he's also distracted. He's a wrestler too. He can't be doing everything, And he's got other people to help. Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley is teaching all the new stuff. Do you hate everything I said?
I'm just ready to talk about something else.
Brooklyn Bleak says better than the head of a faction named after him. Not sure what you mean, but House of Black. It's better than that. I don't know. You're saying better than the head of a faction named after him? Yeah, because the head of the faction that they named after Malachi Black is like a turd in a community pool. Everyone just kind of stopping and staring at it, but doing nothing to fix it. Roy gets it. It's kind of like that, Brooklyn Bleak. Bro, Joe writes, Malachi Black, Keith Lee, and Adam Cole back to WWE. Please and thank you. Well, let's give Keith Lee and Swerve to see what happens there, right, Roy?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Wait, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's fine. Adam Cole,
honestly, might be better back in WWE.
He has a very, very bright future in AEW. He just needs to get healthy.
Okay. I believe it.
He needs to reestablish the TNT title. Give him the TNT title and let him reestablish it.
I think that'd be a great idea. Brett says WWE even under Trips would be Disney-fy House of Black. Would Disney-fy House of Black. The House of Black is already pretty Disney. It's really nothing special. They haven't done anything special. House of Black is nothing to write home about, right, Roy?
Yeah. I mean, it's just standard. It's standard, like, spooky black magic wrestling stuff. It's nothing new.
And then before we get to our main event, Brooklyn says, should have let Colt train Jade, maybe.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Actually, that'd be a great use of it, honestly, to train, to focus on a talent and just work with them,
Yeah.
But we're at the main event, Roy. Main event of the evening. Main event of the evening. We got the crust in our eyes, and we stayed up so late so we could watch this show. And we got to the Mox versus Bryan Danielson, and it was fine.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a good match. It wasn't quite as good as their first match on pay-per-view, but it was definitely a good match. It had really good energy. It built really well. It was the best match on the show, in my opinion. And I was shocked. I was just shocked by the winner. I really thought Danielson would take it. But Moxley took it, and I agree. See, I forgot who said it in the beginning of the show, but this idea that, like, the guy was just fucking champion, and then he had to go through all these other guys to be champion again, like, that's kind of a drag. Just give the guy the title. Like, he should have never lost in the first place. But
yeah, but it kind of really does say, like, oh, look, like, he really deserves it.
Yeah. It reestablishes the belt. It reestablishes him. But I don't think he's going to hold it for very long. Or maybe he will. Who knows? Who really knows? I think MJF could, like, taunt him with this poker chip gimmick for a long time.
But the way that they ended it was, like, the Death Rider on the stage, go back in, we get a rear naked choke, and then he flattens him out. Bryan Danielson passes out, and we get the win there with a submission win, which is interesting. But we feel good. I feel fine with him because, honestly, I think I want to see Moxley MJF again before I want to see Bryan Danielson and MJF yet.
Yeah. I think the belt is in safe, secure hands with Jon Moxley, and you need to have someone who's reliable.
Yeah.
Right now,
he doesn't get injured.
Who's going to steer the ship? He really doesn't. It was just so crazy. At least in AEW, he hasn't gotten injured. He had some bad luck in WWE.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. I think I skipped over one of Moses' comments before, but he said Ricky Stark's neck is PP, and then said the live editing was PP. Moses says MJF cuts specifically. Yeah,
too much. Too much.
Joe writes way too many shots of MJF, even though I loved him watching from the background.
Yeah,
it was a little insulting.
Too much.
Insulting.
Yeah.
But way
too much.
What were you gonna say?
I said way too much. Too many.
Way too much.
Too many shots.
But there's 4 new champions tonight. 4 new champions. Yeah, you heard that right. We got Jericho. Yeah. We got Acclaimed.
Yeah.
We have scratch Tony Storm. 3 new champions.
Yeah.
3 new champions.
Yeah.
And Jericho. And it feels like a nice little reset. What would be your biggest thing that you changed from this show? One.
Orange Cassidy winning.
Orange Cassidy winning, huh?
Yeah. OC should have won that match. And he should have been a transitional champion to Ethan Page, who would win in a month in Canada. That's what I would have done.
Okay, that's fair.
But you give him the big win, and that's what matters most, is that he got this big win in New York. I mean, you're turning Pac heel, and that's fine, I guess. But, like, I don't know. Who cares? Like, give me more with, I don't know. I think OC should have won.
The thing is with Pac, he's been used in this way for so long that even him turning heel doesn't really mean much unless there's a big change in his character. Right. Like, give me a change. We can't just have the same Pac from the bastard Pac from 4 years ago.
Right.
We just can't.
Right.
It's still, he's been the same type of Pac since the Bastard King, Adrian Neville.
Yeah, right. Since he became cruiserweight champion and was a bad guy. Yeah.
And that was almost 8 years ago.
That was 2015.
16?
16. We were living at Trey House when that happened.
Okay, so that's 7 years.
Yeah.
He's been that same version. He needs a fresh painted coat. We have months with one person, a few months. Brett says Mox is going to hold this belt until at least November. There's been no consistency with the titles as of late. It needs a solid few months with one person. I do agree with that. Joe writes, Mox winning again was PP. Way too much Danielson is a beast that just feels forgotten about. I kind of like that PP is becoming a part of the lexicon.
Wait, who said that?
Joe did.
Joe's adopting it. Great. I guess we're adding it.
Roy, you kind of brought it out. You made it a thing just now. By saying it made you feel uncomfortable, everyone's now saying it. Mo says arguably the best wrestler in the world doesn't have gold. Well, the best wrestler and the best tag team in the world don't have gold in their respective company. It's true. Joe writes, bring back Danielson. FTR and Danielson.
Yeah.
Joe says, bring back Danielson as the planet's champion. What a great gimmick that was. It was.
Yeah, I think that was like his favorite thing he's ever done.
Yeah, fickle. And then Joe writes, give Pac the Mighty Mouse gimmick again. Get out of here, Joe.
All right, Joe.
That's your dirty, stinking mouth. You poop shit, motherfucker. That's it. That's my new thing.
Wow, that's good.
Right? It's a good
John
gimmick.
Waters movie. I'm pretty sure it's John Waters' character. There's my
You
dog.
like that?
See ya. Yeah.
Eat shit, you little shithead shit eater. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride
It's been a wild ride tonight, for sure.
Wild ride. And thank you all so much for, you know what else you could do, though? You could join us this Saturday at the Weekly Wrestle.
Yeah.
You could join us this Saturday at the Weekly Wrestle.
Yeah.
You could join us this Saturday at the Weekly Wrestle.
The old Weekly Wrestle.
12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, 1 Mountain. I don't know if that's 1 Mountain. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how Mountain works, Roy. I don't know.
Mountain is really, really confusing. I'm very confused by it. I thought it was a 2-hour time difference from Eastern Standard Time, but that's not always true.
It changes. It changes. It's not the same.
3 hours for part of the year, 2 hours for part of the year, something like that.
They're a piece of shit. Mose writes, less poop, more PP. Hashtag PP. Joe writes, only after eating a pasta mania, Mose. We have to get out of here.
Yeah,
thank you all so much.
This is too much.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Have a great holiday, and make sure to have more holidays to come. Roy, say something.
Yeah, everyone have a great holiday.
Have a great holiday.
See ya.
Bye.
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 Thank you, Mose.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Olé! Olé!